Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone podcast. My name is Kathy. I wanted to direct your attention to two items that have appeared on the docket. One is a motion, which is an application for a court order. It was filed by Ashley Jennings. She is the assistant prosecuting attorney out of Latah County who is prosecuting this case against Mr. Kohberger, and it is dated the 11th day of February 2025, followed by a court order of one day later, the 12th of February 2025. The motion was to seal Exhibit S's and Sam 1 to the defendant, that's Mr. Kohberger's 22nd supplemental request for discovery. And in it, Ms. Jennings, and you can read it because it is published on the docket now, states that there was a prior agreement between the parties, a stipulation, that certain matters that were not available to the public should be kept under seal, which is basically about, in my estimation, 85% of this entire case is under seal. I give that as a rough estimate and as a First Amendment observation. So she's referring to this prior stipulation. If you look at all of the discovery requests, you'll see that every single request has an attachment to it, an exhibit that will say what they're asking for. The defense is under seal, and the responses are also likewise under seal. The court granted that motion and deemed that S1 to the state's supplemental responses to discovery, the 22nd one, should remain under seal. So in my opinion, this adds to what I call the virtual Mount Everest of documents that have remained under seal in this case, dating back to the early days of the case, over 2 years ago, to the original gag order, the non-dissemination order that was drafted by the defense and that was stipulated to by both sides, that there should be a non-dissemination order in this case that has prevented the sorts of things that you see in other high-profile criminal cases, where once in a while maybe the prosecutor will give an interview, or defense counsel will give an interview, or law enforcement will, or something will be released to the public. You've seen none of that for the most part in this case. There have been no interviews, there have been no press conference, there has been nothing, because the non-dissemination order in one version or the other that's been in effect since approximately January 5th, 2023 prohibits that. On top of it, we see so many documents. We see the vast preponderance of discovery, which is the evidence in the case remaining under seal. And it's been almost 2.5 years since the horrible events that occurred at 1122 King Road, and well over 2 years since the only suspect who has ever been arrested that the public is aware of has been under arrest. And I just continue to give my opinion, this is purely my opinion, that I'm so deeply concerned about the wall of secrecy that continues to remain over this case. And I am very hopeful that Judge Stephen J. Hippler will do, as he indicated that he would do recently, and start unsealing documents. We are at this time awaiting a transcript from the January 23rd, 2025 hearings that were held behind closed doors, closed to the public. The court entered an order a while back stating that that transcript, which the court reporter will take down verbatim, word for word, of what happened, will be released, albeit in a redacted format, but will at least have some information as the public regarding that very important hearing. If you would like to review these two documents that were filed regarding the state's supplemental response to discovery request 22 and document S1 being under seal, the motion and the order, please go to the docket. I provided a link in the description to this podcast episode, and you can, if you scroll down to the 11th and 12th of February 2025, you can read both of them. This is Kathy. As always, thank you so much for joining us here today.